The streets of Barcelona whisper stories that most visitors never hear. Stories of defiance, of pride, of a people who refused to be silenced. And at the heart of it all, a football club, more than just a club. Barça. Football to some, identity to many. But behind the blue and garnet stripes, behind the roaring crowds and glittering trophies, lies a struggle few understand. This is the story of how FC Barcelona became a symbol of resistance, culture, and the relentless pursuit of identity. It all began at the dawn of the 20th century, in 1899, when a young Swiss businessman named Hans Gamper arrived in the bustling city of Catalonia. He was a dreamer, a visionary, and he brought with him more than a love for football. He carried the idea of a club that belonged to the people, a club that would rise above mere sport. Barça was founded not as a trophy-chasing machine, but as a gathering place, a home, where the local community could see itself reflected in the triumphs and defeats of the pitch. From the very first kick, Barça was rooted in identity. It was Catalan, it was proud, it was unyielding. As Spain moved through turbulent political landscapes, the club's meaning grew far beyond the 90 minutes on the field. In the 1920s and 1930s, as the winds of fascism began to blow across Europe, Barcelona became more than a club. It became a sanctuary, a quiet act of rebellion. The stadium, Camp de les Corts, echoed not just with cheers, but with the heartbeat of a culture under threat. Players, fans, and administrators alike understood that each match was a statement, a refusal to let their language, their traditions, their very existence be erased. Then came the dark days of the Franco regime, and with it, the real test of what Barça truly represented. Franco sought to homogenize Spain, to suppress regional identities, to make Catalonia disappear into the shadows of fear. Public use of the Catalan language was restricted, cultural expressions were stifled, and any symbols of Catalan pride were outlawed. But amidst this oppression, Barcelona stood as a symbol of hope. Camp Nou became a fortress of resistance. The club's motto, Más que un club, more than a club, was no longer just a slogan. It was a declaration of defiance. Fans sang in Catalan, waved forbidden flags, and cheered not just for goals, but for the survival of their identity.
Even on the field, the struggle was evident. Matches were not merely competitions, they were battles for recognition, for dignity, for survival. Rivalries with Madrid took on a political and cultural weight far beyond sport. Each victory was celebrated as a triumph of identity. Each defeat felt like a wound inflicted by the forces trying to erase them. Coaches and players, often under immense pressure, became unwilling custodians of a larger narrative. Legends like László Kubala, whose brilliance on the pitch dazzled fans, carried the hopes of an entire region with every touch of the ball. But Barca's story is not only one of resistance, it is also a tale of unity and vision. The club became a beacon for international talent, welcoming players who understood that their role extended beyond football. Johan Cruyff, arriving decades later, transformed Barcelona with his revolutionary philosophy, linking the club's identity to a style of play as daring and creative as the city itself. Cruyff's vision was more than tactics. It was about instilling a culture of freedom, intelligence, and expression, a culture that mirrored the very spirit of Catalonia. Off the field, the club also played a crucial role in the social and political evolution of Catalonia. Its leaders navigated treacherous political waters, defending the club's autonomy while maintaining the delicate balance between sport and resistance. The boardrooms became as pivotal as the locker rooms. Every decision, every signing, every public statement was an act of cultural preservation. And the fans, ever loyal, understood that their support was not just for a team, but for a symbol of something enduring and unbreakable. Even today, Barça carries the weight of this history. Every match in Camp Nou is a reminder that football can be more than entertainment. It can be identity, defiance, and unity, all wrapped up in 90 minutes of human drama. When Lionel Messi emerged decades later as the club's talisman, the legacy of resistance and pride continued. Messi didn't just score goals, he carried forward a lineage that had survived dictatorship, political oppression, and the trials of history. Each dribble, each free kick, each celebration resonated with the echoes of the past. Barcelona teaches us that a football club can be more than trophies and transfers. It can be the heartbeat of a community, the mirror of a culture, the defiant roar of a people unwilling to be erased. It reminds us that sport is never just about sport. It is about identity, memory, and belonging. And in every corner of Catalonia, from the narrow alleys of the Gothic Quarter to the sunlit stands of Camp Nou, that lesson is alive and unyielding. When you see the crest of Barcelona, know that it carries centuries of struggle, triumph, and pride. It is more than a badge, more than a team, more than a game. It is the story of a people who refused to vanish. And as long as the fans sing, as long as the club fights, and as long as the ball rolls across that sacred turf, Barça will remain, eternally, more than a club.